So in this video, I will be showing you how to draw a trend line correctly. It is a very profitable trading strategy that you can learn as a beginner. And I will advise, as a beginner in Forex, you should first learn about trend lines. Once you have known how to draw a trend line, you can easily spot where you need to enter for a trade and where to exit. I will show you all those things in this video. What is a trend line? If you check this side of the tools on TradingView, the tools that we will be using is this particular one, a trend line. You click on it. There are other options, as you can see from this arrow that is being pointed. So they are trend line tools. All of them are trend line tools. They show you what happens in the trend. The one I'm interested in today is this trend line that we are seeing. However, there is an important one that I prefer to be using, and I will show you in this video if you remain with me. So how can you draw the trend line? Click on this tool, trend line. When you click on it, you are going to look for the trend of the market. So this strategy of a trend line, it requires that the market is trending, which means if it is trending downwards, as you can see from here, it will be forming from high, another lower high, another lower high, another lower high. That is how a downtrend is. You are going to check for the high points and you connect two high points together. So I can connect this high point. You click the two, I will connect it to this high point like that. So for a trend, you need two high points. I am going to show you why using this trend line is not the best and why I prefer this parallel channel. So what you are going to do is, if you have connected two high points together for a downtrend, you will now extend it into the future. We are only interested in the first two. 1, 2. The third one is where you are going to take your entry. Now, there are some debates about whether you should connect the tips of these candles or you should draw it across the bodies of the candles. I will clarify that for you before the video ends. So simply stick with me. Now let's go to an uptrend. When you have an uptrend, what are you going to do? We use the same tool again. Let me come over here. I'll use the same tool again. I'll click on it. So for an uptrend, I'm using the lower points and I'll start with this low. So I'll connect it to this particular point. So you need 2 points as well. 1, 2. This makes the second point. You want to go in whenever price touches this line the third time again. So let's extend it into the future. You are extending this line before this point is formed. So upon the price touching here and you see any reversal pattern around this particular line, you will now go in for a buy. Now, if you don't know how to spot reversal patterns, I have made videos about reversal patterns. The videos will pop up on the screen right now by your top right hand corner. You can go watch it to see what they are. Well, however, if you still need someone to coach you, you can easily join my free WhatsApp channel. The link is in the description of this video, and through that you can ask any question that you have regarding Forex and I can put you through. So let's ride on. Once you spot a reversal pattern here, you will now enter for a buy. And you can see that anytime that price touches this line and it creates a reversal pattern, you go in. A trend line in general is just like an imaginary diagonal resistance point. So just like your points of resistance and support that are horizontal, a trend line is rather diagonal. So anytime that price touches that imaginary diagonal point as this, there is a resistance of price breaking to pass that line. That is what is known as a trend line, and you make use of those ones to take your trades. It is a very profitable trading strategy. I've told you earlier on, you are waiting for the third touch. So for this particular one, whenever you enter for the trade, assuming I enter at the close of this green candle, you put your stop loss just below this point. What you are aiming for is to clear the high that formed this previous low. So this is a low. Now this is the high that formed it. After this high was formed, this particular point, when it was formed, this high point, it dropped down to form this low. So whenever you are taking any trade after this particular point, you want your take profit to be just above this point to clear this. So ensure that your target should clear the previous high that was formed. So when you enter, you hold this trade until it clears this particular high point. Once price clears that, you have no business doing anything with that trend line again, except if you spot another one. Forget that you are seeing it going up. It does not always happen like that. Sometimes it may just clear just this high and it will start dropping. So take note, your target is to clear this previous high. I want to tell you one secret regarding a trend line in Forex. Even though they are calling it that it is a trend line, it's not exactly a line per se. It is actually a zone, because if you draw your trend line to connect 2.1 and 2 points, but you find out that the third point may break and pass that particular line that we expect it not to pass, and it may come down before pushing up, that is still valid. That is why I'm telling you that it is a zone rather than a line, and is the reason why I prefer to use this tool that I told you about. Let me shrink this to show you. I prefer to use this tool, this parallel channel. You will click connect. Is the same thing the way you are drawing a trend line. Connect 2 points together, one, and then extend it to this one, the two, let it touch, then extend it into the future. Then you can click and then drag it down a bit. Drag it down. Now that's to tell you that anytime that you see price inside of this, it is still valid. It must not touch the line exactly. Even if it falls down below here, it is still part of the trend line or part of the trend zone. So as you can see from here now, price entered inside of this zone. So this particular point is still valid. This particular point is still valid. This particular point is still valid, because it is the zone that we are looking for and not an exact line. Because in trading, there's nothing that you say it must be so perfect for you to do. The same thing applies to even the downtrend. If I'm to pick that same tool and use it, so let me delete this trend line that I used previously. Let me delete it. So if I'm to use the same parallel channel, I will click and join 2 points together. Then I will extend it into the future. After that, you can now extend it downwards. So you can see now that from this particular point where I first click to join this one, you can see it's including this previous one that the trend line could not pick it. So it means this particular point is our second touch, and this one is our third touch. And like I told you, whenever you enter, you should always remember that it needs to clear the previous point. So it needs to clear this previous high. It needs to clear it. If you get 1:2, you are okay with it. It needs to clear it. That is how to use the parallel channel. I prefer the parallel channel because it includes points that the line would have omitted them. So the point would have been omitted. This particular point now would have been omitted by a trend line. But when you draw this channel, you will find out that this one forms your second touch. But for the trend line, you can see if I extend it to form like a trend line, the trend line omits this particular point and it may not give you accurate. It is better you use the parallel channel for drawing your trend line whenever you are using the trend line strategy. If you are not so clear about this, the link to my free WhatsApp channel is in the description. I offer free classes twice in a week, and you can ask any question over there and I will be willing to answer you. So from this particular point now, if it was the channel and you extend it downwards, this forms our second touch and this is our third touch. So this is just like a fourth touch. and the fifth. Now the fifth, you can see the more the touches, it weakens. So as the fourth touch, you see it weakens. The movement is much on the third movement. So that is why you target the third movement. The fourth is weak, and it goes like that. Even if it had formed another fifth or sixth one, it becomes weak, and you see eventually it broke past that resistance point. That is all that you need to know about a trend line. If you have any other question, let me know in the comment section, or you simply join my free WhatsApp channel. The links are in the description to the Telegram and the WhatsApp channel. They are all free, and you can get to ask more questions over there. Thank you for viewing. Do remember to subscribe to the channel. Peace.